What's happening, ladies and gentle dudes of the internet? John Ryan here from IGN. We're looking at the Kill Chain Challenge in Dishonored's new Dunwall City Trials DLC pack. This is actually one of the most interesting challenges, I feel. The puzzle challenges, this and the quote-unquote Ben Time Massacre, are two of my favorites. This first round here, pretty much just run around and kill all three guys. Basically, the premise of this challenge is that you've only got 3 seconds between each kill to complete as many eliminations in the course of each round as you can, in which case that means killing everybody. So for example, this bonus round, we have to take out all 3 guys with the street speakers, which are those black and red things hanging from the ceiling up there. So we're going to use our possession ability to move them all underneath 1, just because it's a little bit simpler, and we only have 1 bullet. And this is the really cool thing that I find about these challenges, that because when I played through the game, both as through a non-lethal playthrough and as well as like going around and murdering everybody, possession was one of those powers that I never really had a use for. Even, you know, other ones like Ben Time, for example, I never really put to use. And the great thing about these challenges is that they'll really make you test just how good you are with all of your powers. And if not, like with possession, you know, that's a little bit of a different thing, because with possession you have to like move around and sneak around in the main game, but it really puts you through the paces of learning the ins and outs of just exactly how to use each one right. So round 2 is a little trickier. We've got 6 people to take down instead of just 3. So we're gonna have our crossbow ready. Stab that guy. We're gonna drop assassinate this dude over here. Mostly use our blink and our sword on this one. And then we've got these 2 guys standing on this electric rail. Use the bend time to gain a little bit of extra timeage, and then hit that thing, put the whale oil tank into that booster to activate the electric rail, which will fry them. And there you go, that's all 6. I went ahead and skipped the bonus challenge because A, I messed it up and it went horribly, and B, they kind of vary from each run. From every different run, they usually have a different bonus challenge for each round. So whatever I showed you might not be the one you actually experience. Wind Blast is another one of those powers that I never really used, but in this one kind of had to. So we're going to activate the electric rail again. And then we're going to bring it over, since we've still got a few seconds left to bend time, and use this arc pylon there to fry those 3 guys over there. Just make sure you jump over the electrified rail so that you don't get yourself killed in the process. Shoot that guy, and then stab this guy down here. And that's it. That's all 10. That's round 3. So this bonus is actually a pretty easy one to get. You can actually probably do most of the rounds in this challenge only using sword and blink. But the only problem with that is you get variants and multipliers for using, you know, different environmental objects, for using different weapons to kill different people. So you really want to make sure that during each round, unless it's specific to the challenge like this is, you try and change up your techniques as much as you can, so that you can have a higher score multiplier and get 3 stars for the mission. So we got that bonus round, we did that one. I thought I'd show it to you guys because I did it so good. Whatever. So we're going to start off by shooting that guy with the incendiary bolt. The thing about the incendiary bolt is that it actually takes 4 or 5 seconds for them to die once you've used it on them, because first you got to shoot them with it, then they got to set themselves on fire, and sometimes if that's like the last person you're trying to kill, it cannot be the best idea to use the incendiary bolt, because it might actually cause you to run out your kill clock or your chain clock. But just keep that in mind. Make sure that if you're going to use Wind Blast or incendiary bolt, you've got either somebody else to kill really close at hand, like this guy, or you've got ample time left on your chain clock, so that you don't run out and fail the challenge. Alright, moving into round 5. Now we've got to kill 20 people. 20 people 4 seconds apart from each other. That's a pretty tall order. But, of course, we can do it. So we got a few guys around here. Normally I'd wind blast these guys straight into that wall of light, but unfortunately, because there's some on either side of it, you really can't do that this time. But we deactivate that, the wall of light, and use the whale oil tank. We're going to blow those guys up with it in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and start off by lighting up that arc pylon. Throwing a grenade over there and then stabbing this guy to make sure that our kill clock works okay. We're just going to run through here, take down the rest of these guys. And then see, that grenade has already exploded, killing the guys with the whale oil lamp. And that's 11 of our guys right there. We'll take down that dude. Make sure you get everybody else. If one of those guys didn't get killed by the explosion, make sure you put him back down later. So we'll go ahead and we've got an explosive bullet left. We'll use that on this guy. And then bend time comes in really handy, not only when you're trying to put whale oil tanks into sockets to turn things on, but it also just gives you an extra couple of seconds on your meter so that you don't break your chain and fail the challenge. So in that case, we were able to run all the way up the stairs and stab that dude, regaining our precious time. So now you can see I'm using the incendiary bolt on these guys, but I'm using bend time, so the arrows are actually stopped in midair. So I also decide to throw caution to the wind and huck a grenade over there, and it actually ends up working out pretty well because it killed that guy before he would have burned to death. And I know that's a horrible thing to say, but it's the truth, and we would have failed, so we had to do it. Alright, so that's round 5, and then it's only a 6-round challenge. So we're going to skip the bonus round, move straight into round 6. We've got to kill 25 people, 3 seconds apart. Alright. So you can see there's a ton of guys around here, and we're going to try and get a score as high as we can, because you need 30,000 points to make it up to the 3-star level and unlock the expert, or you can unlock the expert levels on 2 stars. But you know what? We're IGN. We got to do 3 stars all the way. And it's not just IGN. I'm John Ryan, so I got to do it. So anyways, to make life a little bit easier for ourselves, we're going to go ahead and possess this guy. And see that skull on the ground? That basically means that that's the spot where the street speakers will drop when you shoot them. So we're going to possess a couple different guys, move them into position underneath the street speakers, so that instead of having to run around the map and shoot them or stab them or set them on fire or whatever, we're just going to drop some heavy stuff on them, and that'll be the end of them. So likewise with this guy and another guy back towards the end of the map by that train car, we're going to move them into position on this electric rail. Now, unlike in the main game or in a couple of other challenges, when you possess people in the kill chain challenge, they stay exactly where they are. They don't go back on patrol, or they don't wander back to their original spot. These NPCs are essentially just like chess pieces to you. They're just bits of the puzzle that you can use. Alright, so we're stabbing that guy. We're going to blink over here, take care of these guys. Now go back and shoot these speakers here to cause them to fall on several hapless victims, and gaining us about 6 kills in the process. And then we're going to use our crossbow, make sure we get headshots on the 2 guys across. Basically just wait for your cursor to come to rest on them, and then aim up just a little bit so that it's still red. Quickly activate your bend time. We're going to activate the arc pylon. And we're also going to set up the electric rail, or at least we would, except the explosion of that street speaker blasted all of that whale oil to heck. So we're going to throw those guys into that wall of light, and then basically just run straight down here in a line and stab these guys. Because unfortunately, as sweet as it would have been to electrocute them, we went and blew up our means of fueling that. And you can actually see there's water underneath those wood panels there. So if you shoot that, the guys will fall into it and immediately drown. And that's it. That's 25 kills in 3 seconds apart, or less. And that's how you get 3 stars on Kill Chain. You can feel free to change up your tactics a little bit if you like to. This is just how I thought it was best to do it. But yeah, for anything else on Dishonored or its DLC, be sure to keep it locked right here at IGN.